This was my first visit to Barcelona during my planned summer trip. I visited many other countries before heading to Spain, but I didn't expect the friendliness of the people and the wonderful welcome they give to tourists. In this video, I've selected some of the videos I shot in the charming city of Barcelona. On my first day, I visited Barcelona's most popular church, the Sagrada Familia. I didn't expect all this architectural and engineering beauty in one church, so large and so tall, surrounded by a flower garden. The surprise was the long queue that tourists had to wait in to enter. From the outside, its design is very imaginative. You feel like its columns are carved from bone, but they are actually marble. There are statues and inscriptions on all its walls. Its front door is divided into 3 doors, and if times were different, I would think it would take 10 men to open one of its doors. The Sagrada Familia has 5 doors facing in different directions. This church is the most beautiful I've seen in Europe. Even the interior decoration, tall columns and colorful windows make it a magical piece. This UNESCO World Heritage Site, built by the Spanish Catalan architect Antoni Gaudí, 1852-1926, is a small, unfinished Roman Catholic cathedral in the Eixample district of Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain. Construction of the Sagrada Familia began under the direction of architect Francisco de Paula del Villar. In 1883, art historian Nicolaus Pevsner described it as like a piece of broken pottery or an anthill, perhaps in bad taste, but, in my opinion, beautiful. Montjuïc Castle. Montjuïc Castle was once a military fortress and is an integral part of Barcelona's history. From its walls, you can see not only the entire city, but also the port and the sea. The foundations of the building on top of Montjuïc Hill were laid as early as 1640, when the walls were built around one of the watchtowers that had previously stood there. This was just one step toward building a military fortress that played a key role in many of Barcelona's conflicts, as well as those of Spain. What's interesting is that during its existence, according to the current power structure, the castle was used to defend and bombard Barcelona. For example, in 1842, the city was bombarded from the hill to suppress a revolutionary movement by local workers and bourgeoisie. At the end of the 19th century, the castle became a prison, housing mainly political prisoners. Back in 1940, the head of the Catalan government was executed there. Once you arrive at the castle, you'll be amazed by the neoclassical bridge, which was an important defensive element in the past. There's a separate wooden and iron drawbridge at each end. The latter was raised in case of danger to prevent access to the castle from the outside. A deep moat runs around the entire castle, which was a formidable obstacle to attackers. Today, however, it functions more as a garden. Here, you'll see decorative flower beds and can also walk through them. Once inside the castle, you'll find yourself at the center of the entire complex. the spacious parade ground or courtyard. Cultural. Events, exhibitions, and concerts are held here today. The parade ground of Montjuïc Castle, where concerts and other cultural events are often held. If you venture beyond the courtyard, you can explore the massive walls that surround the entire castle, offering stunning views of the entire city. As a remnant of military history, you'll also see historic cannons pointing out to sea on the walls. One of the most distinctive features of the entire castle is the watchtower. In the past, it was used to communicate with ships entering the port of Barcelona. Flags were used during the day and fires at night as a signal from the sentries stationed atop the walls of Bruges. However, the interior of the castle itself shouldn't be missed. There, you'll find a visitor center located in the former casemates. This will provide a colorful history of the castle, including drawings and photographs from the period. There's also a cafe and toilets on site. You can reach Montjuïc Castle on foot, by car, by bicycle, or perhaps by funicular. La Rambla. The central tree-lined promenade of La Rambla is busy during the day and late into the night. Its origins as a waterway are reflected in the design of the paving, which appears to undulate like water. Along the promenade are newspaper and souvenir stands, flower stalls, street vendors, performers, cafes, and sidewalk bars. Several notable landmarks are located within the promenade, including Joan Mirau's mosaics and the Canalet's fountain, a popular meeting point. Landing along the Rambla are historic buildings such as the Palacio de la Virgen and the Liceu Theater, which hosts opera and ballet performances. La Boqueria Market, one of the city's most important tourist attractions, opens off the Rambla and hosts a wide variety of goods. A side street, just a few meters long, leads to the Plaza Real, Spanish for real, a square lined with palm trees, and multi-story buildings housing numerous bars and restaurants. This street is a vital point that attracts all tourists and even locals for several reasons. Despite the crowds and large number of people, it is a beautiful street where you will find many actors entertaining children in their costumes, dressed as movie stars, such as those from the movie Civil War. Such activities attract many children to take pictures with their families as keepsakes. There are also many sellers of antiques and souvenirs, which I also love and buy from in every country I travel to and visit, as a memory of this or that country. The old neighborhoods are considered the most beautiful in terms of architectural construction from ancient times, due to the architectural development and construction of cities. In every country around the world, they attract many tourists who come to learn about their civilization and gain a closer look at the unique architecture. The old neighborhoods are considered the true capital before modernity and the geographical expansion of each city. The narrow alleys, the closely aligned buildings, and the geometric decorations are among the most beautiful things, as they take you back to memories of the past. The roads between the houses are made of marble paths that extend along the road. The Spanish also exploited these places to attract tourists in modern ways, opening cafes, hotels, and international brands, and shops extending from the beginning to the end of the alleys in these neighborhoods. All of this contributes to strengthening the country's economy, in addition to familiarizing tourists with beautiful places like these areas so that they are not forgotten. Barcelona Botanical Garden. There are two ways to get to the Botanical Garden from Barcelona: cable car, or bus. On Montjuïc Hill, between the castle and the Olympic Games site, lies this beautiful modern botanical garden, which focuses on plants from regions with a Mediterranean climate, such as California, central Chile, the Cape Town area in South Africa, the Canary Islands, parts of Australia, and the Mediterranean itself. For botanists, it's a magical garden, but it's also an ideal place for a pleasant stroll for anyone looking for a break from the hustle and bustle of the city. You can visit it for free on the first Sunday of every month. Its only drawback is the lack of shaded areas, so temperatures can get quite hot on a sunny summer day. However, water fountains are plentiful throughout the garden. This park is the most beautiful place to enjoy during your visit to this wonderful, densely populated city. The view was beautiful and magnificent, with countless different plants. When I visited, the weather was very hot, and it was a pleasure to travel by cable car and see the view from the bottom to the top, as well as descending from the top of the park. The park is so large that it takes more than an hour to complete its journey through the sidewalks. I was very happy to be in this wonderful place, where one feels as if they are in a grove of rare trees or flowers that are not often seen. The purpose of the park is to preserve the plant collections of the Mediterranean. Among its main objectives is the preservation and documentation of Catalonia's natural heritage to promote cultural awareness, knowledge, and respect for nature. The park is affiliated with the Scientific Research Department of the Barcelona City Council. This park was established in 1992 and is maintained by botanical specialists. There are also many species of birds that build their nests on these trees, such as palm trees, such as small parrots, migratory pigeons, sparrows, and crows. The small trees also contain numerous beehives that pollinate the flowers. The garden is picturesque and charming, and I highly recommend visiting it. There are many places I've visited in this wonderful city, but I couldn't photograph everything. The city is very large, and I was on a short vacation to this wonderful city. It's a wonderful destination to return to again. But in the future, I would like to visit Andalusia and see the Arab history there. Spain is one of the most beautiful tourist destinations in the world, and I didn't expect it to be this beautiful. However, it truly is. In the next video, we'll see the city of Trondheim, with its stunning beauty, wonderful nature, and beautiful city. I hope you liked the video, and I will post the next video soon.